son Neo got his first tooth, that's when I started making a bamboo toothbrush. So a few years back, I didn't even know that a bamboo toothbrush exists. And today we are making one. And that's because my guiding force, my son is always with me, guiding me. And when I say guiding, it's learning from his natural cues. So we always have this thumb rule at home, is not to teach him anything, but to learn from him. Why learn from him? Is because he's the only natural thing. He's my last hope, you know. Like how she just said that, you know, the generation to come. He's my last hope. Because he's the most natural thing that I have ever seen. We are all conditioned. So if there is an opportunity for me to go back to my basics, it's all that I have to learn from him. And we are trying to raise him in a natural environment, and the world around was really unnatural, and it was really giving us a tough challenge. I did, you know, single-use plastic, I did not use for more than a decade before he was born. But now it was so difficult because everything was unnatural, right from the things that I put in his mouth. And this also made me abreast with a very simple principle of life. What is unnatural? When we talk a lot about environment damage and everything, but when we are unnatural to ourselves, like I take a pack of chips and I eat it, I'm unnatural to myself. When I'm unnatural to myself, I'm damaging the environment. So it's not like, you know, sometimes if I talk about environment, it's a hard sell probably, because what's happening to the dolphins in the sea has nothing to do with me. But what has to do with me is something that I need to take cognizance of. So when we are natural to ourselves, we are not harming the environment. When I started my second company, that is the sustainable company, the response was overwhelming, especially from the youngsters. And this is what I say when I say that you do not know the skies which are beyond. Because I felt that, okay, I have to go down and do a lot of awareness, I have to talk to a lot of people, I have to tell them what is conscious buying, what is conscious living, but it was nothing of that sort. The day I started, in fact, the pace is so much, even now, I cannot keep up with the pace. When people look at us from outside, probably, you know, people who follow us on social media, they feel that it's a very organized company. But it is not, because I'm still in a very reactive mode. I'm just responding to all the responses which are coming along. So this is what I'm saying, that the sky, for me, was to do, to do this awareness, but it was already accepted. It was already accepted by the world. That shows that the world wanted to change. And I was surprised that I was not prepared for the change. And now we are making more than 50 options, more than 50 sustainable options for everything. You can start a day with a sustainable option, right from, having a bamboo toothbrush, and end a day with the sustainable options. We are making so many products just following the natural cues. So this was something that I would never imagine the day actually I was thrown out of the office. Yeah, probably, it gives me so much of pleasure to be here again. Is because we have inspiring stories of our mother, which we heard. But mothers are rarely called to TEDx to talk about their inspiring story. So I still, there is one side where we are a globally recognized brand, but still if it was not that globally recognized, but doing the right thing at the right time and just following your natural cues is something that I learned from this motherhood. And all that I want to say is we need to not limit ourselves. We have heard so many stories about people losing their jobs or not being able to be there after your maternity period. But I think that's the most beautiful time when you can start your inwards journey and learn from your inwards cue. Why I'm saying this? Because it happened to me. I'm sure I'm not anyone exception. It can happen with anyone. So I think we need to just shut down our ears to the world during that time and just try and hear what's happening within us. So that was shared, and that was my piece of sky for you. Thank you.